You care way too much about what people think. Be honest, how many of your choices, your thoughts, even your silence, have been shaped by fear of their judgment? You're living for their approval like it's salvation, but they didn't die for you. Jesus did. You go to church, you read the Bible, but then you hold back obedience because you're afraid your friends, your family, or your followers might think you're too extreme. So instead, you shrink. You filter your faith. You tame your fire. All to avoid rejection from people who didn't bleed for your freedom. That's not Christianity. That's bondage dressed up as wisdom. You've traded boldness for acceptance, and Jesus said if you're ashamed of him before men, he will be ashamed of you before the Father. That should terrify you. Here's the truth. Their approval is a moving target. Today it's your beliefs. Tomorrow it's your past. Next week it's your silence. You will never be holy enough, kind enough, or progressive enough to please a world that crucified Christ. The more you chase their applause, the more you'll lose your identity. And worse, you'll miss your calling, because you can't carry your cross and crave their approval at the same time. When Jesus called his disciples, he didn't say, "Follow me when it's popular." He said, "Deny yourself. Pick up your cross, follow me." That means rejection. That means mockery. That means being hated for standing for truth. But it also means freedom, purpose, eternal reward. Every idol has a voice, and if you're honest, the loudest one in your head right now might not be Satan. It might be someone you're still trying to prove wrong. The father who never affirmed you, the friend who betrayed you, the world that told you you're not enough. And so you perform, you edit, you hesitate, all because their voice still holds more weight than God's word. But hear this. The only voice that spoke the stars into existence is the same voice that called you chosen, redeemed, and sent. You don't need their validation. You need God's affirmation. And he already gave it, on a blood-stained cross in a borrowed tomb with a rolled-away stone. What more are you waiting for? You were not saved to be silent. You were not filled with the Spirit to be passive. And you were not chosen by God to spend your life trying to win the approval of people who mock him. You were made to be bold, to speak truth, to stand when others bow. The world doesn't need more agreeable Christians. It needs unshakable ones, people who live like eternity is real and Christ is returning. So stop hiding. Stop playing it safe. Stop giving the world more power over your identity than the one who literally created your soul. You're not here to blend in. You're here to shine. So here's the bottom line. You can keep worshipping their opinions, or you can live for the one who saved your soul. But you can't do both. You were made for more than applause. You were made to walk in truth, even if you walk alone. The gospel doesn't need to be watered down to be powerful, and your life doesn't need to be liked to be fruitful. Jesus didn't ask you to be comfortable. He asked you to follow. So stop looking sideways. Lift your eyes. Walk forward. They didn't save you. So why are you still living like they did? If this has been showing up for you, comment below. I choose boldness, not approval. Let your fear hear it. Let your past hear it. Let hell hear it. You were not made to please man, you were called to glorify God.